Hello everyone and welcome to the debut, the start of the next tournament of Battle of the Beasts. This is Series 7 of Battle of the Beasts, and this one, like the previous two, has had a very special title with it. This one is called Reptile Rampage. So what makes this tournament special is that all the competitors in this one are in the reptile family. So the beasts here have one part of them, the beasts here are more in the reptile side of things than they are with any other animal or beast they're based off. You got dragons, lizards, turtles, a few snakes. You got a Loch Ness monster, you got a crocodile. You even have a couple hydras in there. Speaking of which, my drafting video, I mentioned there was 31 beasts. That's because I forgot about Naga the sea monster. So, yeah, there's now 32. That's even better of a number, so not complaining. So, we got 32 beasts here, all of which have a good chance in winning. Who am I kidding? Okay, most of which have a good chance in winning. I'm not even going to deny that. But the real question is, which of these 32 beasts are going to join the 6 victors of the previous games? Oh, well, battles and tournaments anyway. I'm going to call them games at this point, because it's a game for me just to host it. Who will be joining? Torpix the Twisting Serpent, Raksha the Mirror Demon, Wardock the Sky Terror, Jakara the Ghost Warrior, Krestor the Winged Terror, and our latest winner, Cobra, Ghoul of the Shadows. Who will be joining them in the Victor's Circle and turning that 6 into a 7. So, with that, we got 16 battles for round 1 to do. And with all the stats here, the Holy Bible behind my camera right now, let's introduce the matchup for the start of this epic tournament. Once the matchups were released by my good friend Lucas, and having a good discussion about each matchup with Lucas and also my our other good friend Jack, we came to the decision which matches seem more interesting than others. And as usual, I want to start off a tournament with what is one of the most interesting matches of the round, or one which has an interesting matchup, period. So that would be Griff versus Zulok from the new generation. That was interesting to me. So anyway, let's introduce the beasts participating in the debut battle. Representing Series 7, the Lost World, the runner-up of the OG tournament, and a semi-finalist in the all-generation tournament. This one is back again, trying to get that crown, that trophy. I am of course talking about Krestor the Crushing Terror versus his opponent. One who is relatively new to the whole Battle of the Beast scene. One that wasn't around when the first series was released. A bit of a newcomer to the series. Representing Series 29, the New Protectors. This beast has set its mark as being one of the most powerful beasts of this series. And one of the most powerful beasts of the New Protectors era, might I add. Don't at me. So, let me introduce to you Krestor's opponent, Draka, the Winged Serpent. So this needs to go over here. Look at this matchup. Seriously, this is an incredible matchup. I'm being serious. This was a no-brainer to me. This one had to be the first battle. Because you got two enormous beasts, one with a great reputation and one with incredible abilities, going against each other. And I'm just thinking, okay, I wish this could have been done later in the tournament. Let's say round 3. But no, this is a great battle to start off the tournament. And this one, as soon as I saw the matchup, I was like, yeah, this is episode 1. So with that, introducing the beast out of the way, let's get to the stats. Krestor the Crushing Terror. This beast has the neck of a serpent, coated in green scales with powerful legs and webbed claws that propel him through the water. Krestor's red eyes can search out prey in the gloomiest depths. The beast's snaking coils can squeeze the life out of his victims. His other deadly weapons are the jagged spines along his back. They can shoot acid strong enough to melt flesh and bone. Age 313, power 240, magic level 167, fright factor 83, size 373. Powers and abilities: natural weaponry, webbed feet, underwater breathing, acid manipulation, enhanced durability, constriction, and limited camouflage. Weaknesses is a land movement limit. And now we have Draka the Winged Serpent. This beast does not have a bio in the Holy Bible just yet, neither does he have any stats, but what I do have are abilities. Acid Spit, Fight, okay, I misspelled that. Okay, let's try it again. Acid Spit, Flight, Enhanced Durability, and Natural Weaponry. With the 4 pairs of wings that Draka has, surely he has the height advantage over his opponent today. And with the agility which he has as well, honestly, this can be an interesting battle here. I'm trying to fill out time. Anyway, that's done with the stats. Let's get back to me. So with the stats department out of the way, Krestor versus Draka. The battlefield is going to be on the clock arena from the Hunger Games Catching Fire. And as for the sole reason, we have a water beast. So, Draka, make do, please. You'll be fine. So with that, let's get into this. So as the chamber doors open and the drone that's flying around pans to the audience, just chanting, roaring at the excitement of this new series, the new debut battle of these games. They're just chanting the names of the beasts that they want to do well. No idea which beasts are fighting who today, by the way. They're just chanting the names of their favourite beasts. You can hear Krestor, you can hear Furno, you can hear Malix, you can hear Falcor, you can hear the names of former runner-ups, semi-finalists that have made it to that point, to the finals, in previous tournaments. And their names have been shouted out the most. Stritor, Falcor, Furno, and Krestor. But then you do have other names which are being shouted out as well. You can hear Draka, you can hear Pyrano, you can hear Arcano and Bizarra, even a Naga in there. So there's supporters for every beast here. Obviously, there is a bit of a numbers difference when it comes to reputation. But anyway, as the chamber doors open, both beasts exit from their chambers. Draka bursts out through the sky exit, curls his tail behind his head, and roars into the arena, stretching out his tail, lashing it around. The audience sees that and starts cheering in excitement for this new competitor entering the battle. As the other chamber door opens, Draka looks into the dark cave of the chamber. Can't seem to see anything except a pair of red eyes. Draka wastes no time and instantly shoots acidic saliva shoots a jet stream of acid straight towards that chamber. Krestor immediately jumps out of the chamber, comes out of the chamber, bows his head as the acid bounces right off his acid-proof scales. Krestor then roars into the arena. More people are cheering for Krestor's roar. Due to the reputation Krestor has built up in the past 2 tournaments he was in, it's no surprise there that Draka's outnumbered fans-wise. Draka, not wanting to be outdone, flies up to the centre of the arena and starts flapping his wings to try and create a forced hurricane to try and push Krestor backwards. Krestor stands his ground as he feels the strong draft trying to push him back. Krestor doesn't act phased at all, and instead rolls to the sides into the water, creating a giant splash. Draka immediately stops and stares into the water as the silhouette of Krestor is just swimming around under there, lurking below, might I add. Draka stays in the middle of the arena, on top of stays in the middle of the arena, staying in the air and just staring around, trying to keep a close eye on Krestor. Unbeknownst to Draka, though, Krestor has a plan, and as he continues to keep swimming around in a circle, he goes faster and faster and faster. Eventually, Draka understands what Krestor's doing as Draka's following the silhouette, and Draka starts to get a bit dizzy. Krestor immediately comes out from behind Draka and snaps at Draka's tail and then pulls himself back into the water. Draka turns around and sees that Krestor's bitten onto his tail and tries to pull back. But Krestor is not leaning in. He pulls his neck, trying to pull Draka in, using his claws to stab at Draka's tail. Draka roars in pain at this, turns around and shoots acid directly at Krestor's head. Krestor only closes his eyes and takes in all that acid, spraying right onto his head as it just bounces off, doing nothing. At this point, Draka realizes that Krestor is acid-proof. Krestor, knowing that this beast has control over acid, knows that his scales are probably acid-proof as well. Draka then goes to bite down on Krestor's neck, and as Draka does, Krestor roars in pain, lets go of Draka's tail, but instead of showing a face of fear, he shows a sinister grin, as Krestor releases his grip off of Draka's tails with his claws, and instead buries his claws into the top of Draka's head, and pulls Draka down head first into the water. By the time Draka realizes where he's going, it's too late for him to try and do anything. As he gets submerged under the water and Krestor's pulling him lower into the dark depths below, Draka wraps his tail around Krestor's neck and starts constricting Krestor's airflow. What Draka's failing to notice is that Krestor is now breathing through his gills rather than his lungs. And Krestor is just laughing as he's enjoying the fact that he's just drowning Draka, and Draka can't do anything. Draka's trying to pull away from Krestor, trying to do anything to get Krestor's claws out of his head. But Draka then realizes that he's going to need to continue trying to bite down on Krestor. So he goes to bite down on Krestor's neck again. Krestor moves his neck out of the way, just in time for Draka to snap at empty water. Krestor then bites down onto one of the tendon on one of the what are these? What are those? Little. I'm going to call them a tendon. Yeah, we'll call them a tendon. I don't know. On one of the tendons that is connected to Draka's head, and then pulls at it. Draka feels his whole body pulling that way, and then Krestor realizes, I see. Krestor has a plan. He then grabs onto one of them, grabs onto another, releases his bite off of it, and then pulls Draka's head backwards as Draka's roaring in pain under the water, and instantly all of Draka's air is gone. Draka's eyes widen and realize what he's done. But as his eyes are widened, he sees on Krestor's neck where his skills are, and wraps his tail around those skills, blocking them all off. At this point, Krestor's eyes widen up and realizes that he can't breathe either. Draka then forces a smile through his teeth as he realizes he's losing his air, but at least Krestor is struggling to breathe as well. Krestor immediately bites down onto Draka's forehead, and then, the midpoint, his nose rather, causing Draka to loosen his grip on his tail. Krestor lets go of Draka's tendons and slashes at the tail as Krestor breaks free, gasping for watery air, I guess is the right way to say it, I don't know. Before immediately turning around, grabbing onto Draka's tail and pulling him up towards the surface, breaking the surface, breaking through some of the spokes, and slamming Draka down onto the ground. Draka gasping for air, coughing out water that has gone into his body. He's coughing it all out. Meanwhile, Krestor comes up behind him out of the water, stares him down, and makes his way up to him very slowly. Draka, struggling to regain himself, is failing to notice the impending doom that is behind him. The audience members are staring at Krestor, just lurking up towards Draka, before lifting up a claw and slashing right underneath Draka's jaw into his neck. Draka's eyes widen in shock from this as blood starts gushing out of his neck into the water, turning it a crimson shade. Krestor then lifts up his head and smashes it down onto Draka's head. He continues doing that on and on and on. Draka's eyes are standing there just staring at the sky as he's being bashed more and more into the ground that he's lying on. Krestor is not feeling any of this pain as his head is built like a straight up hammer. He knows how he works. He then, deciding to make sure there's no chance Draka's gonna make a break for it, he pins down Draka's tail and bites right through it, pulling it off, lifting up the tail with his claw, wrapping it around Draka's neck, and then pulling it with both his claws, constricting Draka's airflow as more blood continues to gush out. Draka realizes that he's done for, but unable to do anything, he just closes his eyes and accepts his fate as his soul leaves his body. The audience stares and cheers for Krestor for winning his first battle. Krestor not wanting to be outdone by any other beast planning to battle this round, he goes that one step further and tosses Draka's body into the water, making it harder for the cleaners to get Draka's body out of the water, out of the arena. Then Krestor makes his way back to his arena, drenched in Draka's blood, ready for round 2. So with that, Krestor's won, Draka's lost. If you think Draka should have won, please comment below why you think that. However, my word is final, and Krestor is moving on to the next round. Right, so I gave Krestor the victory because ultimately, these two beasts I absolutely adore. Don't get that wrong. Don't get me wrong on that. But what I do need to say is, though, reputation-wise, Krestor's expected to do well, just like a few other beasts in this tournament. But Draka does have the potential. That part can't be missed. At one point, Draka did have Krestor by the ropes. But Krestor, having the battle experience of previous beast battles, knows how to get out of sticky situations. And that's simply what done Draka in. Krestor has the experience which can back up his fighting game. So with that, I gave the victory to Krestor for that reason. Anyway, that was the first battle of round 1 of the new tournament, Series 7, Reptile Rampage. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, definitely subscribe. We've got 31 more battles to do, 30 battles left to do in this tournament. And until then, I'll see you next time.